Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical and Mason here. And before I start, just before I hit record, one of my new subscribers gave me the brilliant and obvious idea that I never thought of, to connect the seatbelt over here so that it would stop activating the chime because of Mason. And I forgot to do it, so you may hear the bell from time to time. Look guys, I'm on the way to take Mason for a little hike in the woods, but I thought I would mention, first of all, I want to welcome and thank all of my new subscribers. I mean, about a week ago, I think I had 2 subscribers, and I just passed 6,000 yesterday. Now that is, I'm exaggerating, I didn't have 2, but I think I had about, a little over 4,000. So to get that big of an increase in really a week, I've got to face the obvious, and that is, I'm not the only one that's concerned and interested in what's going on in South Africa. Now, I had said earlier to my original subscribers that I was not going to make this the South African channel, and don't abandon ship. I'll get back to things, but you know what? In fact, I almost did a video today that was a weapons related video, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized, if we were on the verge of like World War II, or wait a minute, where do I gotta go? Would I stop making broadcasts about that and go back to how to make better tasting popcorn? In other words, we got to focus on what's important right now, and I'll get into the meat and potatoes of that in a second. But as far as South Africa goes, and I do mean thank you folks for those that have joined, those new subscribers. Now I do get, as expected, I get an awful lot of comments, and it's always been my unwritten policy to respond to every comment that I get, and that's easy to do when you have just a few subscribers. Man, I must have spent hours literally trying to get through the comments on just one video last night so that I could at least hit a heart or a thumbs up and respond when I could. Trust me, I read every single comment. I do not just make a video and forget about it. So even if I don't respond, if it gets too daunting, rest assured that I will read these comments. Even the ones that come from, and in this case of South Africa, I've been getting, quite a few black South Africans that are less than thrilled with my videos. So, they call me names and they do what they do. But look, I don't block people because they call me names or they disagree with me. That's not my style. I think out of all these years, I think about 9 years of my channel, I think I've probably blocked 3 people. And man, you got to work really hard to get me to block you. It's not because you don't agree with me. I prefer people that don't agree with me, so that I'm not just preaching to the choir, and that maybe somebody will actually learn something, including me. I learn a lot from my viewers just by the comments. So okay, enough about that. Just took a brain dump here. The other thing I was going to say, as I say that, hoping it'll come back to me, is as can be expected in a case like the South African situation, when people are in desperate times, they're going to understandably reach out and latch onto any kind of assistance that they can get, no matter what it is, whether it's just acknowledging that they're going through this kind of thing. So I have, needless to say, I've had over 100 people reach out to me through different vehicles, and I'd like to say that I've made more than a few friends already in South Africa. That doesn't mean that I trust everything that somebody sends me either. So I'm not like some guy that, Hitler could have, if there was an internet back then, Hitler could have said that he was a Jew and tried to get information. I'm not too bright, but I'm not stupid. You get my point here. I'm trying to drive and do things at the same time, so it's hard to multitask. I'm a guy. But we're almost there. Just calm down. So this video is really designed for people that are questioning whether or not there really is a as big of a crisis in South Africa as I'm saying there is, and as there are others saying there is. So I use words like genocide, and I get a lot of people, and not only on YouTube, but through various emails and family members and such. Some people believe that genocide is a complete over-exaggeration, and I can tell you why that's happening. And this is for people that may be new to the whole concept of the genocide that's taking place in South Africa. It is a genocide. I'll explain that in a second. But calm down. But even my own father, he sent me an article. We're almost there. He sent me an article about how the idea of a genocide in South Africa is being totally used as propaganda, and it's all exaggeration, and it's and it's interesting. So I went to Google and I Googled South African genocide or white genocide, I think. And we all know that Google absolutely skews their search results to sway whatever political agenda they're on, and to back up and support whatever liberal opinion. It's just a tow truck. I know, it looks cool. I remember the first time I saw a tow truck. It was exciting. All right, but you're in my way. I'm trying to make a video. So, so Google is no friend of anybody that wants truth. I think by now we all know that. And for you liberals that are in denial, just open your mind and Google something that has a very conservative slant and watch what you get. You get all negative stuff. Google President Trump and you'll get all this negative President Trump stuff. By the way, are you digging my new beanie? I love wearing this out in public, man. Do I get some look? Oh. And the more shady the crowd is, the more excited I get when I go waltzing into like a 7-Eleven or something. It's beautiful. I just love it. I love making them mad. God, I love it. It's called freedom of speech. Freedom of expression. So anyways, genocide, yeah, it's a big word. And when we think of genocide, a lot of us, we're preconditioned. We're conditioned to think about things the way we've been conditioned to think about them. So we look at genocide as we automatically think of the Holocaust, or we think of the plight of the Native Americans, on and on. It's all the the heavy, obvious genocides that have taken place. The world is advancing in both technology and propaganda and ways to manipulate a political agenda or idea. And so people know that if you just started rounding up anybody of any color or ethnicity or religious background and slaughtering them, that the rest of the world would have no choice but to respond, for the most part. What the? This guy just had a huge sheet of ice fly off the top of his motorhome and almost slam into my truck. All right, hang on a second. I got to pay attention here. Next exit, I think. So, South Africa's no different. These guys know that they can't just wipe out the white race in South Africa, even though it's such a small percentage of the overall population. So it's a slow genocide, and I want you to burn that into your mind. It's a slow genocide. It starts on the exterior for the most part. There's shit happening all over South Africa. But this is not something that just started, yesterday. I wish when I was driving I had the statistics and the numbers. I have great people, very kind people in South Africa that send me statistics and send me information that is not so readily available with this liberal controlled media. Let's face it, they don't want us to know. Why would they hide it from us, Mike? Because let's be honest, and I've said this in the last few videos, but some of you may be new here. The fact of the matter is, it's not politically correct right now to be openly concerned about the plight of white people, especially white people who we've been told deserve what they're getting. Now that's pathetic, and if somebody agrees with that, you're part of the problem. Okay? There is nobody that deserves to have their baby stapled to a table or nail gunned to a table and raped with foreign objects before they get slaughtered and beheaded and burned alive. Nobody deserves that. Okay? I just said to one of my South African friends, I think yesterday, and this is the truth, and I lost relatives on my father's side in the Holocaust. My father's side of the family is Jewish, and most of them were wiped out. And I'm no fan of Adolf Hitler, but let me tell you something. If you put me in a room with Adolf Hitler and locked me in there, and I had a gun and all kinds of torturing implements, I'm just telling you, man, I'm a pretty hardcore dude, but I could not shove hot pokers up Hitler's ass and, you know, cut off his nipples and pour salt in the wound. I say shit like I would, but I'm being brutally honest. That's not me, and I hope that's not you. Would I shoot Hitler? You're goddamn right I would, right between the eyes, and then I'd be done with it, and then I'd make my peace with the God that I pray to and the God that I believe in. But it takes a special type of non-human being. Where am I going? Is this where I'm going? It takes, I think I missed my turn. It takes a special type of non-human being to actually be able to inflict the type of agony, I missed my turn, and torture that's taking place in South Africa. So when I say slow genocide, coming full circle here as I enter this full circle, 30 to 40 attacks on the outlying farmers and their families a month, with horrific, unspeakable acts of violence against women and children and old ladies and old men. Like I've been saying on my South African videos, has nothing. The killing is, or the dying is the easy part. That's the easy part. It's what happens to these people before they stop breathing that is the real tragedy. So that's what's going on. Look at, if you're not familiar with Lauren Southern, I love her name. What a badass name that is. Lauren Southern. God, her parents are awesome. And she's not too hard on the eyes either. Lauren Southern she's a long time ago. She's a, I think she's an independent reporter, but she's a journalist who does exposés, and she went to South Africa. If you haven't seen her piece called I think it's called, oh God, I'm going to screw it up. Just go to YouTube and look at Lauren Southern on South Africa. She's made a lot of videos. Might be farm killings or something. But she's done a couple of them. Oh, how cute. He kissed me his paw. I love you. And that's a good place to start if you're not familiar with what's going on. I don't want to try to spend all the time educating you on how to find information. Listen, anybody that really wants to find it can find it. Those that don't want to find it won't find it. So I got to end the video now. I want to say this. Okay, so what can we do? How can we help? Look, man, I told a friend of mine in South Africa today, a new friend, that I feel like I'm watching a sinking ship from the safety of an island through like binoculars, and I'm watching people drowning and getting ready to drown, and I'm just sitting here eating a bologna sandwich and not doing anything about it. We all have an obligation to do what we can when we know that there are deaths and torture and wrongdoings taking place, no matter what color the victims happen to be. We all have that. It's just a human thing. We have to do this. So, you can email the White House. You can email your representatives. This is what I do every day. I get up and I make a cup of coffee and I start sending out emails. You can email the President of the United States. I wish I put a link on one of the YouTubes yesterday. But you can find all this information. Google your own hometown and ask, who are my representatives? And write a little paragraph and copy and paste it on other emails that you send to other representatives, and ask them, what are they doing about it? Don't ask them if they know about it. They know everything about it. You ask them, what are your immediate plans to do about the slow genocide and the violence against the white minority in South Africa? All these liberals who cry for the minorities of the world, they don't say shit because this minority happens to be white, and there's a special place in hell for you people. You fucking hypocrites. That's pathetic. I mean, right is right, no matter if you agree with it or not. Right is right. So how somebody could sit there and say, oh, all minorities are victims and they need to be compensated and we need to protect the minority, unless the minority is a color that we don't like. That makes you a racist hypocrite. So, where am I at? So yeah, get involved at the very least. You know, if you got the time, start a channel like mine, whatever. Go to YouTube videos where South Africans are discussing this and show them that you're supporting them. Go read the comments on all my videos, and it's I love it, but it's sad when you hear how many people are like, hey, thank you, we're just glad that somebody from the outside world knows about our situation. Imagine what it must feel like to be them, and it with the appearance that the world doesn't even know what's going on. So take the time to get involved and do what you can. And maybe you can do more, you know? Maybe you can find groups that you can donate money to that'll be helpful, whatever. But, oh shit, sorry. This guy behind me. Anyways, is this guy? Yeah, he's right behind me here. All right, so, what? Oh shit, I'm still making a video and the phone fell off. Oops, am I still recording? Sorry about that. I'm trying to do a 3-point turn here, and I got a forest ranger behind me wondering why I'm making an illegal turn. That's because I do what I want, pigs. Your laws don't mean nothing to me. But anyways, do what you can. Sorry about that little faux pas. Do what you can with what you have. Make a difference where you can. Spread this information. Send this video to all of your liberal relatives and your conservative ones. Copy the link. If you don't like my video, find a video that you do like on the subject and send it to everybody in your email list. Oh, but they'll think I'm a this, that, or the other thing. It doesn't matter, you guys. How are you going to look yourself in the mirror when this thing is done and the statistics are finally uncovered as to how many innocent people died? And I could go into this a lot more with some information I have, but I'm going to wait till the next video, I guess. So yeah, the next one's going to be about South Africa, because I don't want to make these too long. But this is not a thing that we're talking about that may or may not happen. Mason, please. That may or may not happen. This is happening. It's happening right now. And isn't he cute? Don't you just want to kiss him? But yeah, it's happening. Excuse me. But yeah, it's happening right now. It's real, and it's not theory. So please get involved. And this is LMS Tactical. I'll see you on the next video. And Mason, he's getting ready to go wet. We're gonna go get him in a mountain creek and get him all wet. Oh, I love this dog. Oh, he's a good boy. Kissy, kissy. No kissy. Must be that peppermint that I didn't eat. All right, you guys. LMS Tactical. I'm Mason. We're out of here. Stay safe. And people in South Africa, don't give up, man. Stay positive. All right. At the very least.